Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. For those that are coming for the first time, I hope you get something out of this video because I'm very excited about it. Not only is this my first review that I'm ever doing on an item, but it's also my own personal item. So yes, I am a little biased, but I think personally that it is incredibly functional and I love this thing. And that is my little tiny Whoop glow ring mount that I 3D printed and just use these bracelets, two of them to be specific, and create these little 16-inch diameter tiny Whoop race gates. And I'm going to show you the file in the description down low. You can find it on Thingiverse, and you could print this file for yourself, and I highly recommend that you do because this is fantastic and I'm loving it. It works so well and it's very forgiving on your equipment as well. So these rings that I'm showing you right now are made of these glow bracelet necklaces that you see at parties, whether it's weddings or Sweet 16s or, you know, kids running around with them at block parties. You guys know them. They're very common. They're all over the place. And you can get them pretty much anywhere, a dollar store. I got mine personally on Amazon. The particular ones I got are the 22-inch. The Glow Fever is the company that makes them. It's 100 count. And I believe it was $32 for 100 of them, which you don't need this many. I could literally make 50 gates, which I could never have an indoor track that big where I'm going to need 50 gates. But I got them for the purpose of if I want glowing gates. Obviously, they only glow for 24 hours or whatever they're rated for. So if you want them to glow every time you race, you just replace the old ones with the new ones. And voila, you got glowing gates again. But you don't need to do that. They're fully functional whether they glow or not. So I personally got the red because when they're not glowing, you can still see them in your FPV camera. So now to the print. I made the print on Tinkercad, which is a creation software program that you can find on either Apple or Windows or Linux or whatever it is that you're using. I think it's pretty much capable on all software programs. I personally use Mac, so that's what I made them on. So the file itself, it's basically just 4 posts that are lined up in an oval-like configuration with punch-outs in them. You know, obviously corresponding with the radius of your gate. And it's very simple. Today is January 20th of the new year, 2020, and I'm yet to see a video besides this one I'm making right now on this super simple thing, which I cannot believe because it popped into my head literally when I was laying down. I think I seen it in a show I was watching on television where the kids were running around with those, and I've been going crazy trying to figure out a good solution for a DIY type Whoop gate, and it just clicked and I was like, wow. And I tried multiple different ways with this. This is like the 8th prototype that I made. I mean, I'll show you some of the things I had here. First I tried this little low one. This is just a makeshift thing where I wanted to just get the radius here and tape it, and that obviously didn't work. And then I tried a bigger one, and I planned on arcing this like this and looping it, and it was just ridiculous. And then it just popped in there. I was like, why don't I just make punch outs and slide it through? And this works perfectly. I obviously had to try a couple of times to get the diameter right and get the angling right, but this is the final product. And with 2 bracelets, well, excuse me, necklaces, 22-inch necklaces, it falls in perfect circumference with the punch outs, fall in perfect circumference with the circle, and they're very, very flexible, and they fall right back into their original position, as you can see. I mean, they're fantastic. I love them. So basically, if you want to do the math, if you subtract the cost of the filament that you're using, filament could be cheap or expensive depending on what you're buying. I personally use PLA. It's very brittle, it's stiff, and that's what you want for these when it comes to the mounts. And my particular filament that I use, it's called Proto Pasta, which is a recycled plastic, and they recycle it and make a filament out of it. So it's obviously very good for the environment because you're taking used plastic and using it again, but not as a disposable product, because anything that you 3D print, for the most part, finished print that is functional, you'll hold on to. It's not like a water bottle where you just toss it out and there it is back in the garbage dump again. So I highly recommend anybody that prints to look into recycled filament because it's very good for the environment, obviously, and most of the time the recycled plastic is very good quality because they want you to buy it. So the Protopasta, I think it costs $34 for the spool. It's a 1.75 diameter, 1.75 millimeter diameter spool, and I think it's 150 meters. It's inside my printer. I'm not going to take it out, but use whatever PLA you want. If it works for you, fantastic. But that's what I use is PLA. So the file is in the description for this mount, and give it a shot. So just one thing I want to say when you do print this, so you guys have an idea of what you want to accomplish. You do not want your holes to be loose. You don't want it to be where you could just slide the necklace straight through freely. You don't want it to be easy. You want it to be big enough where you could push it through, but you want there to be a friction because you want it to be stiff. A stiff hold on the bottom like that so it bounces back to its original shape. Initially, the first couple of prints I did with this design, it was too loose, and I found that when you move the gate, it would always come back lopsided. If you're stiff inside the gate harness like that, then it will retain its shape, which is the important thing. Because obviously, if you nick a gate in a lap, you don't want it to be where it's the end of the lap. You have to get up and fix the gate. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. So that does it for the gates. I also have something else for you. If you guys are interested in dive gates, I've also created these two files. This one I didn't take off of the raft yet. It's basically, you can just peel it right off of the raft. The raft is for stability. Definitely use a raft with these. You don't need to use a raft with that, but with these, if you're going to make the dive gate, use the raft. The dive gate, I could not use these bracelets because they're too flexible. So I decided to go with these bamboo skewers, they're called. You can see this right here. They're Tange, I'm probably butchering that. Tange bamboo skewers. They use for shish kebabs, I guess, I don't know. I have no idea what they're meant to be for originally, but I use them for the sticks for the dive gate. And wait till you guys see this. You print 8 of these. The file is in the description, and 4 of these. File is also in the description. And you need 20 of those sticks, and this is what you get in the end. It's pretty big for me to put on camera, but I didn't harness them in. I just pretty much put them together so you can see the shape of it. And it's a double cube dive gate, which you can hit from multiple angles. Awesome. You're going to see it in a flight video. And with that file, you can create one of those too. So as you see, it's pretty stable. If you hit it, if you glue them in, it's going to be very stable. But you also cannot take it apart. So I like to slide them inside the holders. I say I like to, like I've done it a million times. I literally just put this thing together today. But what I think I'm going to do is just keep them snug inside there. If I hit the gate and it falls out, I'll go back and fix it just for the sake of breaking it down. And I could make it as small as these little elbows and just throw the sticks right back in the bag. So to make the double cube gate, you will need to use 20 of these sticks for any one double stacked gate. You could make a single cube if you print out 8 of these elbows without the T on the end. All you need is 8 elbows, and you would use 4. I think you would use, let's see, 4, 8. You'd use 12 sticks. 12 sticks for a single cube, which is fine. If you want to just have 90-degree angles where you could hit the cube, depending on which direction you're going on your track, that's more than sufficient. I like the dive aspect of it. That's why I made the gate the way I made it, but you could do whatever you like. The files are there, and you could makeshift it any way you want. You can make a triple, you can make it double wide. All you need to do is just print out the corresponding elbows that, depending on the shapes that you want to make. So that's pretty much it for the prints and the materials I used. You guys are all caught up on that. Just to give you, a relative idea of a whoop size aircraft to these gates. These are 16 inches in diameter, like I said. These are 16-inch bamboo sticks as well, which gives you, obviously, a 16-inch square, whether you're hitting it vertical or horizontal. So the dive gate and the whoop gates are the same size. The vehicle, the aircraft, this is what it looks like relatively to a 16-inch gate. So it's big enough where you could fly through it at a decent speed, and it's small enough where you have to have a pretty accurate line to hit it. So for me personally, at the level I'm at as a pilot, this is perfect for me. I would like to say that you cannot use, if you want to make these bigger, you cannot do it with this mount. 3 rings on this mount, it's too heavy and it will fall down on itself. It's not sturdy enough. This is ideal for 2, and if you really want to be a hot shot pilot and you want to make it a small 1 loop, you could do that as well, but it won't have the perfect oval, circular form factor that you see with the 2. The print was made with the circumference of 48-inch necklace, 22 and 22 put together. So it will work, but it's a little bit funky looking. I'll show you real quick so you have an idea. You know, it's going to be more like an oval, but like I said, if you want to be a hot shot pilot and you want to hit these gates for, the real accurate straightaways, I mean, it's pretty awesome. I'm probably going to set these up once I get good enough to hit them, and it's not a struggle for me, but it could be done. So there you have it. So with that done, let's get to some, oh wait, before we get to flight time, I almost forgot. The thing that finishes this whole thing off, which makes it so much fun to use, is this right here, which is the Immersion RC lap counter. It's called the Lap RF. It's the single one. It's just a single puck. This does not come with it. This is also 3D printed for my printer. And the file, I can't remember the name of the gentleman that created this file. He did a review on this, which was very good, and also has 2 separate files for these prints, which hold the puck up at a 45-degree angle to put alongside of your gate like that. Works great with this particular design because it literally falls directly underneath the gate, but off to the side, so it's not in danger of a straightaway collision if you had it underneath like that or anything. And it also orients the antenna where it's directly across the center of the gate. So with the whoops, this works great. I highly recommend the Lap RF. I'm loving it. And if you connect this to your phone or your computer, it literally calls out your laps as you're racing. So if you're by yourself, just keeping yourself sharp with your racing, or if you're just having fun, just whipping or whooping around the house, this is awesome because you actually get to race against yourself. The better you get new best laps. It's a lot of fun, as you'll see in the flight footage. So let's get to that. Thank you. All right, here you see this is my little whoop I'm using. I have it on a carousel. Just a quick look at it. It looks like the Mobula 6, but it's not just the Mobula 6 canopy. It's custom. Any questions, just leave in the comments. I set up a little track in my house. It's just 2 of the gates that I printed. One in the kitchen, one in the living room. Little oval track. And you'll see in the top right corner, that's the lap counter on my phone, showing my laps as I go by. Decent lap comes in at about 5 seconds. And just basically showing you what it looks like through the FPV feed with the cameras. This is not the best camera on this drone. It's one of the EOS cameras, fairly cheap. It's not nearly as good as the camera on the Mobula 6, but unfortunately I broke that Runcam 903. But you have an idea what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you guys are not able to print this because you don't have a printer, just leave a comment, and I could print one for you guys, or as many as you want, at a pretty cheap price. The files are on Thingiverse if you need. They're in the link description. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you liked, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot, and I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me. All right, thank you guys very much, and stay tuned for the next video. Take care.